What a divisional round Sunday for the NFL. Both games amazing. Both games, Rams versus Eagles, Ravens versus Bills, coming down to the wire. Coming to the very last play, basically. And both games have everybody talking. But the game that has everybody talking the most out of these two games, Ravens versus Bills, it was the main event. Everybody was claiming this the Super Bowl game. Whoever wins this game goes to the Super Bowl. And guess both of these teams look like they could win the damn Super Bowl in this game. But the Bills came out on top. We're going to start with this game. 27-25 Bills. The Bills remain undefeated at home. And for me, for the Ravens, this game was the game of the number 2. They lost by 2 points. Lamar Jackson had his first game all season where he had 2 turnovers. Mark Andrews fucked up 2 times in the fourth quarter. And they missed or failed 2 2-point conversions. It was the ultimate game of the unlucky number 2 for the Ravens. And Josh Allen goes to what I believe is his second conference championship. Josh Allen didn't even have to do anything in this game. He had the role of a game manager quarterback. He only passed for 127 yards. He only rushed for about 15, 20 yards. All he had to do was just manage the game and get the Bills in a position to score, or the defense already set them up in a position to score, and he just had to capitalize on that opportunity. The Ravens had 3 turnovers, and the winning team, the Bills, had 0. And it was about the game of the turnover battle. The Bills had 0 turnovers. They are a really good team managing the ball, and you can't have 3 turnovers against them. Now, coming into this game, you knew someone. One of these coaches were going to be talked about, had to have a question mark at the end of the name after this game. And these coordinators are going to have a question mark after this game about getting hired. But they shouldn't, honestly. I mean, the Ravens obviously should always have a question mark because they just can't win the biggest game that they have in front of them. But Lamar Jackson didn't get any criticism from this game. He played well. It was his first time he had 2 picks, 2 turnovers all season. 1 a fumble, 1 a pick. 1 was a bad pick. 1 was a kind of bad snap fumble. So you really can't keep that on him. But it still was a fumble on his part. He could have controlled the ball. The fumble led to 7 points. Von Miller got in, flipped the field position. The fumble led to 7 points. But Lamar played a really good game. I mean, he had passed for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the thing about this game is, I feel like the Ravens shied away too much from the run. I mean, there was, in the third quarter, a drive where they rushed for 63 yards. Derrick Henry, Justice Hill rushed for 63 yards, drove down the field like nothing, and it looked like it was going to cause problems for the rest of the game for the Bills. And that made the game 19-21. They missed a 2-point conversion, and will likely. But they shied away from the run too much in the first half, and Lamar Jackson didn't run the ball really in both halves. He only had 40 yards, 6 carries. Lamar Jackson didn't have a rush attempt in the second half. That cannot happen. Your biggest threat on offense is your quarterback could run as a running back and could throw as an elite quarterback. And only having 1 rush attempt in the second half is something that should not happen. And the Bills only scored 6 points in the second half. They were able to slow down the Ravens to 10 points in the first half. They were able to score 21 in the first half. They were just able to slow down the Ravens, capitalize off of turnovers. And then they were just able to manage the game clock throughout the second half. And I believe the Ravens were the better team offensively in this game. I mean, you saw Josh Allen he didn't really do anything. He didn't do much. The run game didn't do much. But they were able to do enough to win the game. And they don't care how they won this game. They just want to go to KC and try to go beat them. But the Ravens play really good offensively. Lamar Jackson was able to make plays when it needed to be make plays. And that's what it comes down to now. Mark Andrews. 1 drive in the fourth quarter. The Ravens have the ball. They're down by 5 points. And Lamar Jackson scrambling out the pocket, finds someone right open in the middle of the field. Mark Andrews catches the ball. And he had the opportunity to go down. It looked like he was going to go down. He tries to do like some little spin move, juke move back into the middle of the field, and tries to get what was going to be 4 extra yards, and he fumbles. And that leads to the Bills being able to go down the field, get a 4th and short, and they could have went for it. Thank God they didn't go for it. I didn't want them to go for it. They needed to go up by 8, which was the right decision, ended up being the right decision. Because if you didn't get that, the Ravens were going to go down the score, and you were going to get fired, Sean McDermott. So he made the right decision there. But that led to now 27-19. It was now on what was the 8-yard line because they had a holding on the kickoff return. Down 8, you have the ball in your hands, and you got to go score. This is what you want, but this is not ideal, and this should have never happened. Mark Andrews, what are you doing trying to get 2 extra yards? Just go down, hurry up, get on the ball, and let's try to go win this damn game and milk some clock. But no. But whatever, you get over it. You had the opportunity to make up for it now. You're down by 8. You're down by 1 score in the division round. And Lamar Jackson makes the damn plays. He goes down the field with ease. Just score with 1:30 left, I believe, a minute left. Will Likely threads the seam, throws seeds. He gets the 6-point touchdown. It's 25-27. The Ravens in 2-point conversions for the game all season. Will Likely, these are 2 I remember. The Steelers, where they did the same rollout action. Will Likely and the Bengals. They're 1 for 2. What? That was a good play. This game should have went to overtime. Or at least should have had the opportunity for the Ravens to hope for overtime. Mark Andrews, easy pass at the belt line. Could have caught it with his chest. Easy pass with the belt line. Drops it. I know the balls are a frozen rock when it's cold outside. That was the problem in the Eagles-Rams game. But that was such an easy catchable ball. You should have caught the ball and your team would have had a chance to be in overtime. Have a chance to stop Josh Allen, hopefully. It was still a minute something left. Josh Allen could have probably went down the field with ease also. But they were slowing down. The Bills were slowing down. The Ravens defense was actually slowing down Josh Allen. They were able to stop him and make him settle for 2 field goals for 6 points in the second half. So I have confidence that the Ravens would have won this game with the momentum swing. Especially from this drive that would have created from this drive to win the game. I think the Ravens could have been the AFC Championship. Mark Andrews catches that ball easily. I would have took the Ravens at that point over the Bills, even if the Bills had the ball with 1:30 left. They were going to go to overtime, and they were probably going to win. Because you get the ball, you switch possession with the ball in overtime. The Ravens would have won if it went to overtime, no question, and I'm still taking them if it's 1:30 left for Josh Allen with the ball. If this game is tied. But it wasn't. Mark Andrews was the factor in this game, and it's tough to put it on him when you have 3 turnovers. 2 turnovers that weren't his fault, 1 leading to a touchdown. But his fumble led to a field goal, and his drop pass led to the game not being in overtime. I mean, Lamar made the plays to tie the game. And mistakes are going to happen in the game. Quarterbacks throw picks. Fumbles happen. But good teams had the ability to overcome this shit. And when it's too much, it's too much. And this was too much. 3 might have been too much for the Ravens, but they had the ability to overcome it, and they overcame it. They short-term memory went down the field, went and got it, went and overcame it, and Mark Andrews drops the ball. The trusty tight end drops the ball, and not only that, the drive before, the tight end is supposed to just catch the ball. He's not supposed to be elusive. Went and tried to be elusive and fumble. I mean, you gotta blame it on him. Failed 2-point attempts. You could have went for 1. Could have said, "Oh, what if they went for 1 on the 19-21, make it 20-21?" But who's gonna do that? Who's thinking these exact scenarios are gonna play out? So you can't even blame it on the decision making of Harbaugh. The Ravens shied away from the run. 0 rush touch in the second half. I said that already, and it worked in the third quarter with 63-yard drive for a Derrick Henry touchdown. But they didn't run the ball in the first half, really, like they should have. Lamar didn't use his legs like he should have. I think they were trying to prove that he can throw the ball in cold weather, which I could care less. Just go win the game. The Bills don't care how they win it. They don't need to prove Josh Allen's the MVP at 127 yards. They proved their defense is pretty darn good. And Lamar Jackson was able to see through that defense. Ravens are now, again, not able to win the big game. Last year, it was against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. The year before, this year, it's the Bills. A couple years ago, it was the Titans. I mean, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. You can't. They're in this situation. They probably could have had a home game. They could have been on the other side of the bracket, baby. If you beat the Raiders and not lose a close one to Chiefs, but you can't go back into the season and look over this stuff. You had the game with you. You had the game in your hands, literally multiple times. Because if Mark Andrews just goes down on the play before the drop 2-point conversion, I think the Ravens also win the game. So you had the ability to win. The Bills escaped. They're a good team. They find ways to win, even when Josh Allen only throws 127 yards. This was a great game plan by the Bills, and it worked. And now there's a question mark with the Ravens, and what do they do now? This team's pretty darn good. You just need to get some defensive pieces, get healthy, a receiver, probably get another receiver, and I talk to Mark Andrews. The Bills are going to face their playoff killers and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship again, in the playoffs again. That's going to be a matchup. That's going to be a quarterback matchup. This matchup was marqueed as a quarterback matchup. But I believe that Mahomes versus Josh Allen in the AFC Championship next week is going to be a real damn quarterback matchup. Bills walk away. They're in the AFC Championship. Now let's get to the next game. Next, we had the Eagles versus the Rams. The Eagles win 28-22. And I'm going to say it, with full heart belief, the Rams should have won this game. And it was due to the second half weather conditions that just kept on getting worse and didn't help the Rams in any case. That just made them drop that frozen rock of a ball in the second half. And what was, I think, the third or fourth quarter, in the same drive, on the same first-second down sequence, Tyler Higbee and Puka Nacua both dropped the ball. Easy ball. It should have been caught because it was a frozen rock. And it should have been, both of them should have been caught for a first down. Then there was Matthew Stafford trying to hand the ball off to Kyron Williams. That didn't work. That just pushed him back more. And because the ball was a frozen rock. And there was 2 drives in the fourth quarter, back-to-back crucial drives. 2 back-to-back drives. Fumble. Kyron Williams, building with Matthew Stafford getting sacked. Probably, I know Kyron Williams was definitely because of the weather conditions. Matthew Stafford was most likely because of the weather conditions. And they both led to 6 points for the Eagles. And what the Eagles win by 6 points. And the Rams, still, despite a long Saquon Barkley rush, had the opportunity to win the game. They were on the 15 to 20 yard line, and Matthew Stafford can't do it all. The Rams offense just didn't have it left. That one play left to score the touchdown in the red zone on the last play of the game, 4th down. And it was because Jalen Carter, who was probably the biggest impact besides Saquon and the Eagles' O-line, had the biggest impact on this game. Because when they doubled Jalen Carter, you had to worry about him and he wasn't as effective. But when they had him one-on-one, Jalen Carter just fucking dominated. I don't know how he fell that low. Fell that low in the draft. He is something else. But the Rams should have won that game. And it was the 2 fumbles that cost them that game. Because despite going down, what was it? 13? Because Jake Elliott missed 2 extra points this game, which was actually really crucial. And really made the Eagles fans sweat even more. He missed the first one on the long Jalen Hurts run. And then he missed the second one on the last Eagles touchdown. And even though he missed those extra points, he kept them in this game. Both kickers kept their teams in this game. Because they hit all of their field goals, despite the weather conditions, which I was expecting at least one to miss. Maybe, and I thought it was going to be Cardi, but he was able to knock him. Jake Elliott was able to knock a 44-yarder, a 37-yarder, a 23-yarder, 3 field goals, despite missing 2 extra points. He was money. I don't know how he was missing extra points. But it was the Eagles' O-line that won this game. Again, it wasn't a good performance by Jalen Hurts. He looked like a deer in the headlights when the pressure was on. And the Rams' defense is really good. I've been saying this since I don't know since the week 8 at least when they beat the Vikings. The Rams defense is really good. Jared Verse and all the young defense are really good, and everybody's starting to catch on now. But he got sacked 7 times. One was for safety. I don't know. After he got injured, he bent his knee really bad when he got sacked the drive before, and they just for some reason dropped him back in the end zone and let him throw, and he just got pressured. He got sacked. He looked like a deer in the headlights every time he got sacked. Looks like he can't. When the pressure's coming, he can't. He doesn't have that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes in him at all. And he's looked terrible. I mean, you give him a week after coming back from a concussion from 2.5 weeks off, and he still looks worse than he looked last week. I mean, they're getting fortunate that this defense is really damn good. And that the O-line is really good. I mean, Saquon had 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. The O-line is incredible. The defense is incredible. But the defense still was letting good old Matthew Stafford and the Rams go down and almost score on them for a game-winning drive. It was letting Matthew Stafford go down and get some drives. And I think the Rams really, really should have won this game. Really, really. It was one long rush by Jalen Hurts in the first quarter. Then it was a long rush for a touchdown. Both for a touchdown. Saquon for a touchdown. And then they slowed down Saquon Barkley in the run game a lot. And then it was all the way into the fourth quarter. Saquon got another breakaway run to go down 13. The Rams answered back quickly, got a score. Got the stops because Jalen Hurts looks like a goddamn deer in the headlights every time he gets pressured. And they had an opportunity to have a game-winning drive, and they looked like they were going to have it, and Matthew Stafford gets sacked because the rookie center makes a mistake. Gets sacked by Jalen Carter. 4th down. Terrible throw. That's the game. The Rams should have 100% won that game, in my opinion. It was the 2 fumbles because of the weather conditions that caused it. And that's what happens when you're a cold team and the other team's an indoor team. They're used to it. I've seen it with the Dolphins. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. The Rams should have won the game. Jalen Hurts had 128 yards. He's not that good right now. And I don't know how good he's going to look next week with that knee injury. He's not looking good in the knee injury. So if the Commanders are able to shut down Saquon Barkley, they don't always have the greatest run defense. I mean, you saw that Gibbs was able to run on, J-Mo was able to run on. The run defense is good, so it's going to be hard, but I think that the Commanders, like I said last week, the Rams should win this game. And I think the Commanders should win this game if Jalen Hurts is playing like this. A.J. Brown, 2 receptions, 14 yards. I mean, go read a book. I would go read a book, too. I said last week, it's being a diva. But 2 receptions, 14 yards is... Jalen Hurts isn't getting this ball down the field. 21 carries for Saquon, 200 yards. It works. O-line works. Like wonder. But I do not trust Jalen Hurts at all. He's gonna cause this team to lose their game. And the game that they lose is gonna be because of Jalen Hurts. It's not gonna be because of the defense. It's not gonna be because of Saquon Barkley. It's gonna be because Jalen Hurts can't get the ball down the field and can't make these throws. He only was incomplete for 5 throws, but he's getting sacked. He can't improvise these plays. Jalen Hurts is not good. He hasn't been good. And he's not going to be able to win you the Super Bowl. Especially against these AFC teams and this Commanders team. This Commander team is going to score. And Jalen Hurts is going to deal with the pressure of having to answer back and score with these throws. Because Saquon Barkley can only get you so far. He's gotten as far as shit, actually. But Saquon Barkley, in the fourth quarter, you can't really rely on the run that damn much. But Saquon Barkley with a goal line, man, he's something different. And it's not even fair. The Rams should have won this game. I'm going to say it for the last time. Matthew Stafford had 324 yards. Kyron Williams had 106 yards rushing. Matthew Stafford Quinyon Mitchell. Matthew Stafford ran that guy over. That was impressive. He ran him over, tried to get that first down. He didn't get it, but he sent Quinyon Mitchell out for the rest of the game. And that actually helped him. They picked on the backup corner a little bit. But Rams defense, scary next year. Very scary. Eagles defense, even scarier. It's going to be interesting against the Commanders. Jalen Hurts needs to wake up in order for them to win this damn game. He needs to wake up from whatever nap he's from, whatever daydream he's doing on the sideline. Because he has not looked good. And to win this game against the Commanders, who are freaking hot and have no pressure on them, it's going to have to be Jalen Hurts at least throws for 200 and gets the ball to A.J. Brown. Or he's going to be reading some goddamn books.